Hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Pandulce podcast, Shotty. Girl, it is episode 11. We took a little break last week because I was being lazy and I just really didn't want to make an episode, but this week I'm really feeling it. Got a lot to talk about. And let's just jump right in because I missed you so much and I got some things to say. And if you're cringing at my position right now, I'm sorry. It does look kind of whack, but it is extremely comfortable. If you're on audio, I don't know, look it up on YouTube. And yeah, maybe text me. I'll send you a picture of what it might look like. Anyways, first thing I want to talk about, I saw a TikTok that was saying like, oh, these lustful men out there, they're always there, these lustful men. And it's talking about these guys who be following like insanely like 50 Insta baddies. It's like, if I see the lustful man, it's no more. Which, I'm gonna dive deeper into that and why some of that is weird, but that did kind of make me think about my own following. And if you know me, I love the Insta baddies. The Insta baddies get a lot of love from me. But I think this made me realize if you're gonna follow the Insta baddies, you gotta have your core three. The rest gotta go. You gotta pick your favorites to go on the sports team internationally. You can't have everybody. You gotta pick and choose because it just does like a little odd. Yeah, like you're just following that girl because she's hot, and I think yes, women are attractive and admire them. But I did have to do a little cleaning. Not that I follow an absurd amount of them. Like, and also some guys just follow like straight up like pornography accounts, which is just like if you're gonna, I mean, just look up porn online. But I mean, like, I had to slim it down. I had to pick the favorite five. Favorite five will not be named, and obviously, majority of my following is not just women I find attractive. It's just people I know in real life. But that is very interesting to me that that's a criteria for a lot of women. I don't think I would care or mind if a girl I was with was following like some like model or guy, but maybe I would. So what do I know? Very interesting. But I think what really really bothered me about it was not necessarily that like, oh, these lustful men be following all these baddies. Like if you have a girlfriend and you're following like 30 baddies on Instagram, like you got a problem. But I'm saying as like just in general, like lust, like this idea that like lust is like evil and bad and like to feel like sexual desire is like sin or something. I think that's so whack, like extremely whack. Um, and I'm saying that as someone who like kind of experienced that before. I remember, you know, when I was a child and you start looking at the hoo-haws online, you start looking at the chicken breasts. Um, Chicken breast is crazy. I just mean breasts. But yeah, sometimes you feel really guilty and you feel kind of like, damn, this is messed up. I think especially myself because grew up in a very religious household, and I went through a huge period in my life where I was like, I feel so bad, like I have to stop and like all this stuff, which I think is fair if you're like addicted and doing it like 8 times a day or something. But to just feel sexual desire, like it's a very normal thing and a natural thing. I mean, like biologically, we are just kind of here to have sex and reproduce, really. Biologically. I don't think that's the meaning of necessarily life. We make the meaning, blah, blah, blah. But essentially, everyone you know in your life who has children has had sex before. It's just how it is. And if you're with someone and they feel like no sexual desire, if they don't show like an ounce of like wanting to like touch you or like be affectionate with you, like something is wrong. Something is off. Like you can't be with like or maybe you can. I mean, I guess this is a personal opinion, but I think if you're with some girl or with some guy and you're like together for like 5 months, that's lengthy. And you guys aren't making out, y'all ain't kissing. Like, why? Like, do you even really, like, are you, like, even attracted to them? Angel, love isn't all about attraction. It's not all about looks. You guys got to get over that. You guys got to stop that. That's the biggest fucking lie I've ever heard in my life. Biggest lie. You have to be attracted to them. I'm done with all this shit, man. Like, if you are not attracted to that person, why are you with them? And yes, I know you may be saying, Angel, there are two sides to the story. I love their personality. I love what it's about them. Okay, you can have both. And I'm not saying they gotta be a supermodel. I'm just saying you have to be like physically into them. Like, I think you should ask yourself if the idea of having intercourse with this person irks you, something's wrong. And I'm not saying that obviously people have trauma and, people are maybe just saving themselves from marriage, which is fine. And the idea of sex itself kind of irks you. But if the idea of sex with this specific person kind of irks you, dude, something's off. I just think this idea of remaining pure and having these impure thoughts and like, oh God, Lord, please save me. I thought about fucking my math teacher today and getting railed. Like, oh my God, like I wanted it so bad, but that's wrong. Bruh, it's okay. If you are having visions of getting your cheeks clapped by your math teacher, just let the visions be. Enjoy them. Have fun with them in your free time. You don't got to share them with the world, and no one's expecting you to share them with the world. That is something personal. And I'm telling this to all the young people listening who perhaps think like just because things aren't said that they don't happen or that they're not normal. I assure you, everyone you've ever met in your life, most people, I probably, have felt sexual desire and sexually impure thoughts. Impure meaning human thoughts. Yes, you could be like, it's just normal to feel sexually attracted to people. That's just normal. And this is gonna sound crazy. No, it's not crazy. I'm gonna say it. If you are in a relationship with someone and you're freaking out because you think like, damn, like, I still think these other girls are attractive. I'm using girls as an example because I'm a straight man. Wow, like this girl I know at the freaking coffee shop I go to is really extremely attractive. I'm extremely attracted to her, but I'm with this girl for 2 years and I love her. Am I evil? No, you're not evil. You just experience sexual attraction because this idea that two people are meant to like be together in a relationship is like a social thing. Like your body just wants to have sex with everybody because it wants to procreate. So when it sees someone attractive, it's like boom, that. But obviously, if you're in a committed relationship, you're not supposed to cheat on your partner, so don't do that. I'm just saying, you just let the thoughts pass. And this is a bigger conversation about even intrusive thoughts. If anyone out there in my audience is struggling with intrusive thoughts, which I've struggled with, and I'm sure many have and don't want to speak on them, your thoughts are just thoughts, and you just gotta let them pass and keep living. Because what are you gonna do? Worry about them for the rest of your life? The time you spend worrying could be spent doing something important. You could have a crazy, and I'm gonna give you a crazy one. You could have a knife in your hand and be next to your brother and be like, what if I just stabbed my brother? And you're like, oh my God, am I like a serial killer? Like, why would I think something like that? No, you're not a serial killer. You just had a crazy ass thought, which is obviously just something you wouldn't do. No need to freak out about it. It's just thinking. That's how thinking works. And I know some of you people out there are going to be like, oh my God, this dude Angel Aguilar's insane. He's promoting all these crazy people to just do whatever they want. No. I think the people who are struggling with this kind of intrusive thought thing will get it. You don't got to worry about that. Focus on your actions and, trying to be the best you can be. I just want you guys to thrive and be successful. So I think it's okay to have these sexual thoughts, and sometimes you have weird sexual thoughts, and that's happened to me too. Hey, happens. It's okay. You don't have to feel bad. If it's weird, you can just be like, okay, that's weird, and move on. Move on. Or if it's kind of hot and you into that shit, then be like, oh, hey, damn. Doesn't have to be shared with the world. Doesn't have to be shared with the world. So yeah, if you're with your man, make out. Making out is fun. Having sex, it's fun. Do that. Why not? Only live once. And if you're saving yourself for marriage, okay, you do that. No shame in that. But I just think, like, why? I think this idea of purity and humans being pure, it's just something you're chasing that you'll never achieve. And it's just, you have to accept that you're human. I remember as a kid, I like idealized superheroes and like how like, wow, like I wish I could be as pure as like someone like Superman, but I'm not pure. I've done things I'm not proud of, things that are wrong. I've also done good things and things I am proud of because I'm just a dude that does a podcast. So I think it's really good to hold yourself to a higher standard, but not act like you are that standard. Don't act like you're this like super pure individual who like does no wrong, is always trying to be morally superior. That shit's so annoying. That's like when you're like, I'm not Democrat or Republican. I hate both sides. That's why I didn't vote. Or like, um, who was that person they voted for? Like Jill Stein. Like, I voted for Jill Stein because I won't stand for this. Okay, buddy. We get it. You're the most intelligent person in the room. You're extremely empathetic. And honestly, you're super morally correct. The most morally correct person in the room. I think you're just better than all of us, really. Guys, you're flawed. You're flawed. You're flawed. You're human. Every single one of you listening to this, and including myself, you're flawed. Allow yourself to be flawed. It's okay. Learn and grow. That's the best you can do. So, yeah, there's my spiel on that. Also, the myth of the good man. Let's talk about the myth of the good man. A lot of people, this connects, have been speaking about, like, on TikTok. I feel like, oh, where are the good men? Only the bad men are out here. Where are the good men? Good men need to come back. Girl! Where are the good men? When were the good men? Please explain to me when the good man existed. I really want to talk to some of these people and be like, who is the good man? Can you point to him? Because I'm thinking in my life, who's the good man? Who? And I know we're all thinking about like the perfect man who like sweep you off your feet and do all these amazing things for you. And I think men should strive to do that. But who does that? Who is this perfect man? I think a lot of y'all date supervillains. Yeah. But I also just think like to say that in the past these men were a thing, these where are the good men? Where are the gentlemen? Oh my gosh. They're not out here anymore. Like, I don't know, maybe you guys just watch a lot of like movies where back in the day they had these perfect men, like who? Like Paul Walker? Like who? Who's the perfect man? I think it's just like maybe you guys watch movies from the 80s or before or something, or like see pictures, or because men back then just used to beat the shit out of women. Not to say that all of them did that, but probably a lot of them did. They probably did the same fucked up shit they're doing today. Imagine a man in the 1960s with the snap score. That's fucking dangerous. Stop. Supervillains and men existed before and today. It would be just as bad. Really freaking bad. You give a man in the 1960s an Insta page with like 20 baddies on his Explore page weekly, daily. He's not going to follow them and like on them and comment on all their pictures because he's like never experienced that before. He fucking would. So stop. I think this like idea that the man left, the good men are gone. Like that's just nah, brother. And I do agree. A lot of Gen Z men are embarrassing. Hey, maybe you're watching this and you think I'm one of them. That's fine. I'm closing my legs. Closing my legs. Maybe you think I'm one of them. That's okay. That's totally fine. But I'm just saying, let's not act like men haven't been men forever. Someone told me men are dogs. And for the most part, that's true. Because dogs can be demons. They could also be your protector and your... Never mind. I was going to say your lover. That's crazy. If you fucking dogs, stop. Chill on that. Yeah. 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 Okay, let's move on from all that. Great talk. Want to talk about Coachella for a second. I don't get the Coachella appeal. I understand that it's a big music festival and everyone goes, and I get okay. I guess I do get the appeal, but I don't know why you would spend all that time in traffic and spend like thousands of dollars to see an artist live in this huge swarm of people when you could just like listen to them perfectly on the radio or on your phone or whatever. Like I get it. If I mean, I guess I do understand the appeal, but I would just never do that. Fly all the way there, meet all those people. I saw that people were like living in tents and stuck in traffic for 24 hours. It's just like not worth it. You're spending your hard-earned dollars to go support these artists who are just there for like an hour and go home to their like private jet or whatever. Like why? You're putting all this effort for what? I think it's also just like a social thing, like the outfits, the pictures. It's a thing. You get to say you went to Coachella. It's a cool thing you talk about in the break room at work. I don't know. Not for me. I thought the Bernie Sanders speech was pretty interesting. What a cool way to speak to Gen Z. Thought that was the perfect opportunity. But will people really do anything? They probably just forgot about it and are going to move on. I mean, what are we to do? I don't know. I don't have the answers. We probably should do something. The Trump administration is low-key insane. Not low-key, high-key, super high-key. So, yeah, I don't know what we're supposed to do. I think protesting is like not enough. This can't be protested. And I'm not calling for a revolution, and I'm not saying I'm going to be the leader of it. I don't even know what I'm saying. Should there be a revolution? Should someone just like kill the president? Will that get me like killed myself if I just said that? And if Trump dies, is he a martyr? And then who's president? JD Vance? It's just like, what's the solution here? Can we do this for 4 years? I just don't know if we really can. We shouldn't. They're gonna send everyone, every fucking like criminal to these prisons in El Salvador. That guy, they sent him there, and they're just not gonna get him because he's probably dead. And even if he's still alive, they just don't want to. I mean, I've heard that El Salvador turned everything around and the crime rate there is extremely low, but at what cost, you know? Like, how many of those people in those El Salvador prisons are just like innocent people with tattoos? Or just innocent people, period. And I heard that they're kind of just like tortured in there and they don't see sunlight. And I understand that some of these people have done horrific things. But I don't know. But at a certain point in their life, they were children and they're people. I don't think we should treat people like cattle and just fucking torture them. I know people might not agree, but I feel like prison should be all about rehabilitation. Because I think sentencing these people to just... I mean, yes, some people deserve to die, I guess. Not I guess yes. But a lot of these people just... They need to be reformed. What's the point of just locking them away forever? If they can be reformed, we totally should. Some of these people were just misguided in life and went down the wrong path. I mean, almost all of them. True evil? Most not. These people were just put in these situations and they were built into some form of evil. It could have been prevented. I think most people in prison did not come out the womb evil. These babies weren't evil. Children. This is the product of their environment and the way they grew up, and things happened to them that put them in these places. I don't think that's that might be a hot take. Like, I mean, this is crazy, but imagine like Adolf Hitler. If Adolf Hitler got accepted into that art school, would he have ever done what he did? He might have been a hateful man, but would he have gone on to commit genocide? Maybe he wouldn't have. And obviously, maybe I'm not brushed up on my history, and that's not the only reason he kind of went into what he went into. Maybe that's just something people say, that if he got into art school, he wouldn't have done what he did. But that's just a broad example I'm using. Yeah, I don't know what's the path forward for this nation, but I do believe in our comeback and in hopefully not a third term of Donald Trump's presidency. That'd be horrible. And I still don't understand how people to this day can continue to defend Donald Trump. I actually haven't heard anyone defend Donald Trump since the election started, and now every Trump supporter I know has just kind of stopped talking. Not necessarily defending him, not necessarily calling him out, just kind of like silent. Because I think they know. The whole, like, it was a whole bunch of nothing. And these people really elected him because they thought he was going to improve this country or because they have a hateful bias. I hope after these 4 years, if he even makes it to 4 years, that we have a new president, I guess probably from the Democratic Party, who isn't just, who isn't just like, I mean, I've seen the whole Gavin Newsom thing where he's kind of just trying to like be in the middle of the Republicans and the Democrats to like win them both over, but I'm just so sick of that bullshit. Like, that's not what we need. Like, we need change. And we're not going to get it if you're just trying to play to both fucking sides of America. There's one side of America who's trying to change things for the better, and there's just one side of America that's holding us back. But, we are a country united, and both of these people live here, and they just disagree completely. We're not going to have a civil war. We have to learn to live together. So it feels like we're going nowhere. But I believe that in time things will change, and there will be a better America again. Yeah, that was like a whole thing. Wow. Political takes on the Pandulce podcast. Who would have known? Going on to a more lighthearted topic. I mean, it's kind of late, but I've been vibing heavy with that Frank Ocean snippet. Wait, what? Hold on. I will. How does it go? I read your diary every line. I wanna tell your words like wine. Guys, that snippet's crazy. And this is all from he's hooking up with that martial arts guy. Y'all seen that picture of Frank where he grinning ear to ear? Grinning ear to ear with that not little boy. Whoa, not little boy. Grown ass man. But there is an age gap, I think. And it's just like that dude Frank is loving it. That dude Frank's loving it, and he's putting out this love in his music. So I'm rooting for them, and hopefully we get an album because that dude Frank is super, super talented. Yeah, great snippet. Something I want to talk about again, and we talked about it last week. It's coming up again because I seem to have a problem where I say things in TikTok comment sections and almost nobody agrees. I think it's happened 5 times this week. Maybe my takes are garbage, but I truly believe in them, and, well, they're coming out, and people hate them, so I'm just allowed to be hated on TikTok. It's okay, we don't have to agree, but let's talk about it. The Last of Us Season 2. Okay. Last time I said Pedro Pascal wasn't, I don't see the crazy sex appeal. Okay? Right? I know. I do get it sometimes. I do get it. I'm not saying he's an unattractive man. I just don't think I get the mass appeal. Whatever. Great actor, great guy, talented, and sexy. Sometimes. Just forget it. Pedro Pascal, please never watch this podcast. You don't care what I do anyways. You're going to be Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four. Okay. Bella Ramsey, let's talk about it. I have not shied away from it. I'm not going to shy away from it again. I truly just don't think Bella Ramsey was the right casting for this role. And to be completely honest, I think she's a great actress. She's talented. I think it was a miscast, and it's not Bella Ramsey's fault at all. Why would it be Bella Ramsey's fault that she was cast in a show, paid money to act, acted her ass off, and everyone around her hates her online? It is a little unfair, And honestly, I just kind of put the blame on the casting director, why Bella Ramsey's just pretty much doing a job. And if I was her, I'd get that bag too. If they cast me as Ellie in The Last of Us, I'd be putting in the work, which he does. But it's just like, it doesn't fit. It really doesn't. Um, and I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it because it's the honest truth. It's the brutally honest truth that no one really wants to say because I think a lot of people, they really want to be nice because who doesn't want to be kind? But it's okay to just be honest. I see a lot of people say, like, oh, you just want Ellie to be super hot because you're sexualizing a 14-year-old. You want to sexualize little girls. Okay, I've had this comment, like, replied to me, and it's like, dude, she's supposed to be, like, 19 in this game. And I don't think a lot of people freaking realize that. I don't think a lot of people watching the show realize that she's not a little girl anymore and she's supposed to be playing like a 19 to 20-year-old woman because she looks exactly the same. And Bella Ramsey also, looks a little younger. So you compare the game to the one from the TV show and they just don't look alike at all. Ellie from the games is very menacing, and I believe fully that she is a product of this apocalypse and can take out all these people. And I'm just not getting that vibe from the show. And speaking on that further, y'all ain't gonna want to hear it. Y'all ain't gonna want to hear it, but there was a sexiness to Ellie in part 2. Don't even lie to me right now and say that's not true. Don't freaking lie to me. And I know some of you might say, that's not even a major part of her character. Like, you just want her to be sexy. Oh, damn. Sorry, I hit the microphone. I'm not saying that that's the most important part of her character, but I would be lying if I said I haven't seen 20,000 edits and have them saved on my camera roll of thirst traps of Ellie Williams from The Last of Us Part 2. And you just don't really see that for Bella Ramsey. I mean, I'm not speaking for the lesbians or the people who are attracted to this game character, Ellie Williams, but I'm willing to bet good money that a lot of people were actually attracted to her from the game and not from the TV show. That's just a fact. Me, I save the edits because I think Ellie's super freaking cool and badass, and I love that character. And I just don't think Bella's hitting the same vibe. Abby is just not muscular, short. It's not giving, and I don't know why did Neil Druckmann think this was fine, or does he not care, or did he have no choice in the casting? He seems perfectly fine with where the show's going and everything. So maybe Neil Druckmann's a genius and I'm the idiot, but I just don't see how this happened. You've seen the Kaylee Spaney clips. I mean, maybe what they could have, it wouldn't work, but you could have done Bella Ramsey for the first season and then Kaylee Spaney for the second season. They look nothing alike, so probably wouldn't happen, but I don't really know what the answer for this was, to go from Ellie as a child to Ellie in the game. I mean, Ellie in the second season. It's a 5-year time skip. So it really just wouldn't have made sense for television anyways. I have no idea how they would have done that, because they look so drastically different from the first game to the second game. And I think this is the overall problem with the entire thing. And I'm just going to say, this game did not need to be a TV show. It really just didn't. I understand when people adapt things I don't know, comic books to screen. A comic book is still images, in a story, pieced together to create a story that they don't even move. So when you put it to live action, you're getting something new out of it. But The Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2 are some of the best video games ever fucking created. And they are so beautiful. And the acting is top notch. Better than anybody in the show. No one watching this can tell me that someone in the show is better than their video game counterpart. It's just not an arguable thing. The game is just better overall than the entirety of the show. So just why? We're getting nothing new out of this. Yes, I know there are episodes in season 1 that are new stuff, and that's good, that's great. But pretty much we follow the same story as the games. So why did we need this adaptation besides expanding the market and getting more money? That's the only reason, really. The Last of Us games are so fucking beautiful and detailed. And we go from that to this show. It's just a downgrade. It's watered down and no offense to like I mean, I guess offense. I mean, I don't even know how I'd say this without it sounding offensive, but it's just there's just no reason for this TV show to exist. Most people who enjoy heavily the show have just never played the game. So they don't know what they're missing. I'm sure if you and a lot of these people don't play video games, which is a fair thing, but I'm like 100% positive if you were to get someone from who watches the show to play the video game, they'd probably be like, "Oh, this is way fucking better. Why did I watch the show?" It just is. This is like the whole thing with like the Invincible live action movie. That's being made, that's happening, but why? We have the animated series, which we're getting a lot out of. There's just no reason to put this into a new medium. What are we getting from the live action? That it's alive? I don't think that's enough of a justification. It's clearly a money thing. And I mean, I guess I would watch it if it came out, but it's just not the way, I think. I think The Last of Us, there's a season 3 coming out. I just don't see season 2 generating as much buzz as season 1. And losing Pedro Pascal, which was the main draw for so many people, will only hurt it further. I'm sure he's in some of the episodes as flashback scenes, but I don't know. The Last of Us TV show is just no Walking Dead. And it's definitely no Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. And it's really sad to see as a fan of the games that I've been since I was 14. So I think I'm justified in saying all this. Yeah. Speaking on Invincible, I also went into another TikTok comment section argument and talked about how Amber and Invincible, as well as Eve, the relationships in that show are just so extremely boring and not necessary and dull. And then I got a lot of hate for that, so let me just explain what I'm talking about. And it's been talked about before. I'm not the first one to talk about this, but people, you say something about their favorite show and they glaze the fuck out of it and act like it's the greatest thing in existence. Newsflash, Invincible is not like the best show ever fucking created, but you guys see it and you're like, oh my god, it's so insane, it's incredible. It has its problems, and I really like the Invincible comic. And I like the show too, but damn, like it's not a perfect show. But Amber, like, okay, first off, Amber was white in the comics, and then she's black in the show. And of course, they made like not the only black character, but one of the black characters just like a throwaway character. It's like Amber in the show, she like, from the first episode, you know that Mark and Eve are like gonna be together. So what is the fucking point in doing this 2-season arc with Amber as like a relationship when we know it's going to end and they're just going to get Mark and Eve together? It is just so pointless. And I know why people like Amber, because she's just like a chill individual, and people who like want to be represented latch on her because she's a minority character, which is so valid. But I just think she was such wasted potential as just this throwaway fucking POC love interest that happens all the fucking time. It's just really annoying. And the craziest thing is that even when they break up and they go their separate ways, Eve and Mark together are so fucking boring. So boring. I don't care about those people together. And really, I don't think I care that much about Eve at all. I mean, like, she has struggles with her parents, I guess, and she's chill. I think Amber may be a little more interesting than Eve, and that's not saying a lot. Um, I just don't know that Invincible, and I've read the comics. I just don't know if the thing that people watch Invincible for is not this relationship or either of them. It's all about the Viltrumites, and the show is best when it's focusing on this whole Viltrumite conflict. Every time it focuses on anything else, it is pretty boring. I like the Mahler twin stuff. I like the Cecil stuff. But I think Ask Anyone, the Viltrumite thing is the most central thing. I think if you just went back in time and, you know, and I think it's even worse that they race swapped Amber but not Eve. If you're going to race swap, of course you race swap the character that's just going to get thrown out. It feels like, I don't know if I'm using the right term, it's like tokenism. It's like, okay, here's your minority character. All right, be happy. I think it's such bullshit. I don't think Mark and Eve are compelling. And I think a lot of people just glaze the fuck out of this show because, it's one of the big superhero shows that are getting this massive budget and this massive great acting cast. And it's just one of the, I don't know, one of the popular things on TV currently. I think Invincible's good. I love the fuck out of the comic. I don't think it's perfect. But there's just other shows that do it so much better. But Invincible's big right now. So that's the thing we're talking about. And, I mean, maybe they'll fix this in the next season. Also, why did Mark and Eve have sex after the Rex funeral? Shit was actually so dumb. Why? Robert Kirkman wrote that episode. I blame you, Robert. And the romance wasn't bad in The Walking Dead. So this is like a staff writer problem, maybe? Maggie and Glenn in The Walking Dead felt real. Michonne and Rick felt real. So I don't know, what's this? Daryl and Carol? Even though they're not together? Like, come on. Not a single relationship in Invincible is compelling. Romantic relationship, I should say. Debbie should not get back together with Omni-Man. That happens in the comics. That should not happen in the show. I would actually be so extremely disappointed if that were to happen. That shouldn't happen. Okay. Invincible's fun. Not a perfect show. I enjoy it, alright? Don't come for me. Or come for me, that's fine. You can come for me. Let's talk about Six Flags. Went to Six Flags. Had a lot of fun. Went on the rides, got the season pass. Hoping to go to more amusement parks. Shit sounds baller. Want to go back to Orlando. And really the best part of all was that I went to Chili's. You ever been to Chili's? I went to Chili's, and you know what? I'd never been. It was incredible. They gave me the chips. They gave me the salsa. They gave me the guac, and I don't really like guac. Never really had guac. Tried the guac. That shit was fire. That shit was banging. So, damn. Then I had the triple dipper. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I want to start shaking ass. Shit was incredible. With the honey mustard, and you get that big blocky cheese stick. Oh my god. I'm a nut. Shit was insanity. Insanity. I love Chili's. I want to go back to Chili's. And I got a chicken quesadilla, and it was delicious. And I love the glasses they gave me. Those big ass mugs with the ice cubes in it. Incredible. And the salsa with the chips. Scrumptious. Hells. Freaking yeah. Alright, two more things and we'll get out of here. I think this is a long ass episode. I will say that this made me want to start an amusement park. I mean, I'm thinking that if I get rich one day, I'll make an amusement park. Sounds like fun. Maybe one on the scale of like Universal or Disneyland. That sounds so ambitious and so unrealistic. Like, you might be listening to this like, oh my god, now this dude wants to start an amusement park. Jesus Christ, you can't do everything. Which I think is fair, but I would just go through the whole DC Six Flags thing, and I'd be like, we're missing so much here. There's a lot of theming, and there's a lot of stuff that we could do that we're just not doing, that we could be doing more of. And I think there's a reason that Six Flags is not as big as Disney, or Universal. Disney and Universal feel like places you would travel with your whole family to go to from far away, and Six Flags is just that place you drive to. Which is fine, because that's what they are. They're like a chain. But I think there's something so special about the Universal and Disney parks that I wish they would do at Six Flags. Because it's like, what's the point of having the DC license if you're not going to do something crazy with it? Give me the Batcave. Give me the Fortress of Solitude. But they don't want to do that. They just want to slap Superman on the ride and be like, all right. That's not enough. I want more. But whatever. And the last thing is another life lesson for you guys. Another life lesson. Indecision is a decision. I had a relationship troubles recently, and it's really just my fault. It's really my fault. And I was indecisive about something, and I just didn't know. I really didn't know. And I think I just have personal problems I need to work through, and I won't get too into it. But I hurt someone, and it's really awful, and I feel really bad about it. And I should have said it to their face, but I was like too much of a pussy to say it. And I just felt that yeah, you don't know who you're gonna hurt by not knowing, not being certain about something, not being totally clear about what you want and what you desire. So I encourage anyone that's feeling indecisive, that's your fucking answer. I mean, if you don't know that you want to be with this person, you're hurting them already. People deserve to be fully chosen and cared for and loved. And if you are thinking that I don't know, that's painful. And I've made a mistake and I've learned my lesson. And if this person, you know who you are, is watching this, yeah, I'm a fucking asshole and I fucked up and I'm really sorry. Um, and she won't watch this, but if you want to talk about it, like, let's do that. I should probably just fucking talk to her myself, but I guess I'm cowardly. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I never will. Yeah, guys, don't hurt people. You should be sure about your partner. You should be sure about who you're with. And if you have fucking personal issues, you got to solve them. Don't lead people on. Don't tease them with something that could be more when there might not be more. You got to be sure. And you got to find self-peace, self-love before you can really attach yourself to something. It sounds cliche, but it's so true. Um Love is out there. You got to be ready for it and you got to be ready to commit or not and be clear about what you want. Damn. All right, guys. I think that's the end of the episode this week. Long ass episode, I think. I'm trying to look at the time code. I can't, but I'm predicting this is 40 minutes long. Possibly. Well, I love you guys. I love you. New episodes are coming out next week. Hell yeah. The clips just haven't been happening. I don't know. I've been busy and I've been lazy. I should get the clips out there, but I'm so behind on the clips that I don't even know what to clip. I'll figure it out, and hopefully you'll get some soon. Maybe you'll get one today. All right. I love you guys. Stay sweet and peace out.